What's up, everyone? It's Tom, and I'm here with Alex from Steamforged Games, the masterminds behind the Dark Souls board game. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much, very, very much. Just a quick rundown, what is your role over at Steamforged Games?
So I am a designer working primarily on Dark Souls and also Guild Ball, of a game that we make, and maybe some other stuff that I can't talk about.
Very, very exciting. So how's it been, first things first, before we get into the game, what's it like working with something as precious as Dark Souls?
Petrifying, in a word. I mean, I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, which is good. That is part of the reason I'm on the team. Petrifying. I mean, you've got super fans who are like, don't ruin this, guys, don't ruin this. The reaction to the demo has been amazing. Absolutely amazing, and that has taken a lot of heat off how unnerving it is to be dealing with a property like this.
It makes you feel much better. So the Dark Souls board game is Kickstarter success. Like, it was an absolute success story. What is that history? What's that like? What was it like when you launched it?
So when we launched it, I actually worked on the customer support while we were doing that before I was on the design team. So we had like 24/7 coverage on the comments and everything, making sure everybody knew everything was going on. So gradually watching that total tick and tick and tick up, and it's like, oh, so we were aiming for like 50 grand, and now we're coming up to 4 million, and like, yeah, it added to the whole thing of huge IP to work with. Now we need to, smash it. And as far as I'm concerned, we are at the moment. And as far as everyone that's tried the demo, we are. So
it looks absolutely amazing. So what is the premise? How does it work?
So it's like a dungeon crawler, your standard dungeon crawler. You go through doing encounters with your little grunts in there. So your standard hollows, silver knights are in there. You work your way through, you gain souls, you go back to the bonfire, you spend them, you get better. You go and face a boss after you found the fog gate, and then you beat the boss. You start off with a mini-boss. Once you kill the mini-boss, resets, you go through, get some more souls, get better, go through, face a main boss. Once you kill the main boss, you reset, you go and kill a mega boss, or whatever variation of that you want to do. We've intentionally made it a very customizable system. We don't want it to be sort of locked into, this is how we think you should play it how we tell you. It's, here's all the tools that we've given you and mechanics to do what you want to do with it. We've got some stuff that's gated off so that, the class you pick matters. So Fume Ultra Gate Sword, big fan favorite. You need a lot of strength to carry that. So I wouldn't necessarily think a wizard could carry that, but the wizard can quite handily carry, say, your Moonlight Greatsword. They can have that, that's fine. You could go full dex on a wizard and run around with a greatsword and have a great time and never shoot a spell ever. And that's fine, and we want that in there. But we also have a system we've added called Once Per Sparks, which is like an active trait style thing. You can do it once every time you've reset at the bonfire, and that keeps that personal thing on there, so that's the only thing they can do. So the Knights makes them better at blocking, the Warriors makes them do more damage, the Thieves makes them do sneaky stuff with aggro, because there's an aggro token in there, all that sort of stuff.
That's also, so it sounds, of course, very, very Dark Souls. You yourself, a massive fan.
Yep.
What's it like for a big fan of Dark Souls coming to a board game, and obviously board game fans who aren't familiar with Dark Souls or have never played it? Where does that connect happen?
I mean, the weirdest thing I've found when doing these demos is the amount of people that go, it feels like Dark Souls. When we were making the game, there were big things that we wanted to hit, that the video game hits that a board game can also hit. For example, Dark Souls is never unfair in terms of the video game. When you died because you messed up, usually. We wanted to try and carry that over to the board game. In the video game, you very rarely get to a point where you're stuck for what to do. We want constant progression. We've managed to get that in there. It's just that sort of stuff. We know we had to carry over the dodge. We've done various versions of the dodge mechanics and to get to the one where we're happy with, and just getting the translation so it's faithful and most importantly fun. No one's going to play a board game that isn't fun, no matter how much it relates back to Dark Souls. There have been things that have had to go. There's been things that had to be added. We've added a lose condition to the game. There is no lose condition in the video game, but you need to be able to lose a board game because you need the tension. That's a big thing of Dark Souls, is that tension. So bringing that lose condition in just adds that tension, which wasn't there before the lose condition was there.
Amazing. And the final question, Dark Souls is known for one thing. How hard is this game?
I mean, I've had this weird thing going on where every time I've demoed the game, the first person of the day always wins, the last person of the day always wins, and that so far is true here. I've had the first person win, We haven't had the last person yet, so I don't know if they're going to win, but I've had one person win of the demos I've done today. So apparently quite hard.
Amazing. Thank you very much. It looks awesome. Check it out. All the information is available online, and best of luck with the launch.
Thank you very much.
And thank you. And stay tuned for much more Dark Souls and everything else from Game.